Hello everyone, welcome to What's Up Wilmington, the 910 podcast. It is me, Frankie.
And me, Shanny.
And we are really excited to bring you, I think this is actually our third episode, and we have had a wonderfully big week here in the podcast with getting new followers and following us on social media. And it's a big week in general. We'll talk about a bunch of big news things, and we'll talk about what's coming up this coming week, but it has been a super exciting week.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been definitely busy and getting all of our social media sites set up and running and going, and getting that podcast available on iTunes. And hopefully that we can get those followers out there and get a little more information to you guys. It's the whole point. We want to have fun. We want to help you out.
Now, if you don't see us on your favorite podcast platform, please feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on Instagram at 910pod. You can find us on Twitter at 910pod. You can find us on Facebook at 910pod. So you can find us pretty much anywhere that you want. You can also find us at Gmail, 910pod@gmail.com. And let us know what you think. Let us know what events you're excited about. And if you cannot find us to download on your favorite podcast platform, let us know what that is, and we'll make sure that we do our best to get it up there. But right now, I think we're on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, all of those. I use an app called Downcast. And so today I just looked it up, and there it was. And I thought, wow, that's really cool, because it pulled up our artwork just right off the get-go and showed all of our episodes.
That's awesome.
So that was a wonderfully big week for us to get that. And we have a few followers there on our Facebook page. So we want to say thank you for that.
We appreciate you all already.
Yeah, and we're hoping to be more and more interactive as all goes along.
So again, if you cannot find us on your favorite, please just shoot us an email at that 910pod@gmail.com, and we will do everything we can to get it in there. Well, I definitely wanted to ask you, here on the first part of the show, how the market's been with you this week, Frankie.
The market actually has been absolutely wonderful. I got one of my houses under contract just yesterday, and it is an awesome family. Had their first kid just a couple of weeks ago, so we are super excited to have them sell their first home and get on to the next adventure. So if there is anyone that is looking to sell, I just want to tell you that these folks, when they sell their home, their first house, I will save them over $6,000. $6,000 because I'm only charging a 1% commission fee.
That's amazing.
And no, it really is. And so you have this husband and wife and their first kid, and who's absolutely adorable. And I saw him after he just got fed the other day, and he was just laying there like we do,
fat and happy and full.
Yeah, exactly. And had just
life.
Look in his eyes, just looking around. Absolutely the cutest little baby. And I was just thinking, his parents are going to save $6,000, which would buy a trip to Disney World, or
put it in that college fund,
down payment on a car, or a vacation for them. So I'm super excited to do that. So anyone that's here in southeastern North Carolina thinking of selling, I only charge a 1% listing fee, and I would be happy to talk to you about that and how I can help you get your house sold. So that's how we've started out with getting our podcast and all these different platforms, and then me having a great week in real estate. But also one of the news articles that I've seen this week was talking about the new flood reforms that's coming here in August, which is just a couple weeks away.
Yeah, and actually I am an insurance agent as well during the daytime, and that is something that we have received lots and lots of phone calls about. There is definitely a buzz around for that, around town, around the office, around especially the homeowners near the beach. I have seen up near Topsail, there is quite a stretch through the middle of Topsail Island there that is going to be rezoned, If you are in one of the areas that you feel like are going to be rezoned to a higher risk, I recommend you getting your coverage in place now if you have not already done so, because it will grandfather you in at that regular rate. And honestly, it is very, very minimal as far as the expense as opposed to what your homeowners and your wind and hail policy is. A lot of people are misunderstanding that it's expensive like those, and it's not. If you are in a standard zone, the general rate is around $450 a year. I mean, and that is really nothing compared to what you pay for your other policies. Now that's if a primary home. If it's not a primary home, they do have a $250 surcharge, so it runs you a little more, closer to $700. But that's for the maximum coverage that they offer. Their deductible is $1,250. And if you get into some of those some of those higher risk zones, I quoted one on Topsail Island a few weeks ago that was actually $33,000 a year because of the zone he was in, just for his flood policy. So again, if you think you are in one of those areas that will become high risk and you're not now, certainly lock it in, regardless of what time of year it is or if there's a season, hurricane, storm, what have you out there. There's always a 30-day waiting period for flood unless it is taking place at a closing and being required by the mortgage company. So unless it's mandatory by the mortgage company, you got that 30-day wait. You want to go ahead and jump on it, because with us here in hurricane season, even though, knock on wood, we have not seen a whole lot of storms here lately, if one comes about and you're within that waiting period and you have damage, you do not have coverage. So you certainly want to get it in place and get that waiting period out of the way, and possibly lock yourself in with that lower rate and help yourself all the way around.
So the article that I saw said that there would be 350 homes in New Hanover County that would actually be in sort of the worst zone instead of being in a better zone.
Absolutely.
But I think that there are a lot of homes that are actually going to be put into a better zone. Mm-hmm. So we're talking like going from VE to AE.
Absolutely.
But there are people that are going to be going into from AE to VE, which is going to increase their rates.
Oh, yeah. We joke that VE is very expensive, although that is not what it stands for. But if you hear VE, it is time to lock it in before then, because it is going to be an expensive rate.
So who should people call to talk to you about flood?
Actually, if you have a hazard policy, homeowners policy in place, wind and hail homeowners, whoever helps you with that should be able to help you. If you do not, or if you're just looking for quotes in general, you can give me a call. Shannon, my number at the office is 910-791-5400, and my extension is 111. We can certainly get those quotes worked up for you and be more than glad to help you with any of your other needs as well. So I know you can, like I say, contact your existing agent or give us a call there at that 791-5400, extension 111, and we will get you going with some quotes and see if we can't get you taken care of with all your other needs.
Well, that's pretty cool that you say, hey, contact your existing agent. Well, why wouldn't you try and say, hey, call me and I'll quote your flood if they already have flood insurance?
Well, because usually whoever carries your hazard on your home, your regular homeowner's policy, does carry that too. Most companies don't do just standalone flood. They do the other policies as a whole. Not only does it make it easier for you to know who to call in the event you have questions, you have your same agent for all your stuff, but it just, some companies won't write it without it. We would be glad to give you quotes on all your other stuff though, and possibly save you some money on that as well, so you never know. But if you're midterm and you have questions, why not call your existing agent? That's what they're there for. That's what you are, in essence, having them as part of your team. So certainly they know about your home. It makes it a little bit easier. They have all the dimensions, all the information on you already, but you can get it from anyone you choose.
That's really cool of you. I would think that most people in insurance would say, hey, call me, and then you call them about the flood, and then they try and sell you homeowners and auto and everything out there. So, no, I appreciate that because I hate, the old rope-a-dope.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, call me about this, but then I want to try and sell you this, that, and the other too. So,
and I mean, don't get me wrong, we would love to have the business, but I honestly, I feel like a lot of people are not educated on what they're purchasing. They don't know a lot about it because even as an agent, it changes regularly. It's hard to keep up with a lot of the things if you don't do it every day. So it certainly gets very easy to get confused if you know nothing about it. And I feel like that my job is almost more to educate them on what they're purchasing and why it is in their best interest or why it's not, to let them make the decision as to what they need. Because you can never tell anybody, yes, you do need this, or no, you don't need that, based on, because you don't know their needs, you don't know their risks, you don't know their liabilities, and you need to give them that opportunity. But I feel like I am, in essence, a teacher, and I need to educate them on what the policies are, what they cover, what their needs should be based upon their, assets and their liabilities, and allow them to make the decisions from there. Because if you don't, you're doing them an injustice.
No, I absolutely agree. And to peel back the curtain a little bit, Shannon and I actually met working at an insurance company years ago. Not that many years, but
years. Almost 10, buddy. It seems like time flies when you're having fun, Frank.
I will edit that 10 part out.
Hey, we didn't age that many years. We've just known each other that long.
Exactly. So for the news, I know that you had told me earlier that there was some big news over there at the zoo.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a new baby rhino at the North Carolina Zoo. It was a female. She was born on July 2nd to Linda and Stormy. And the North Carolina Zoo is actually having a competition where you can go and vote for a name for her. They have 6 names they have chosen by the rhino zookeepers. Each name reflects the theme of a strong woman throughout history. But you can go on to their website and vote on the North Carolina Zoo's website. You can go on the zoo's Facebook page for the North Carolina Zoo, their Twitter or their Instagram account, all North Carolina Zoo. The voting is open from noon yesterday and closes July 24th at 5 p.m. That list of names, like I said, there are 7 names. Some of them are a little strange. We've got Bodacia. She was a Celtic warrior queen. Diana, which is my choice. That's my mama, and she is amazing. So I think I'll probably vote for Diana. But that's goddess of wild animals in Roman mythology. We have Grace O'Malley, the Irish queen and naval captain. Mamba, an all-female group of anti-poaching advocates in Africa. Nandi, the queen of Zulus and mother of Shaka Zulu. Penelope, queen of Ithaca and wife of Odysseus in Greek mythology. Wilhelmina, queen of the Netherlands, who fought against the Nazi occupation during World War II. So those are the 6 names to choose from. You can go on, again, the North Carolina Zoo's website, Facebook page, Twitter, or Instagram up until July 24th at 5 p.m. to put your vote in and give that baby girl a name.
Well, since it's North Carolina, I was expecting one of the names to be like Linda Jr.
I know, right?
But it wasn't. They were all different.
Ethel. So, yeah, there's some different ones, but like it said, they were all on a theme of strong women throughout history, so I guess they're trying to make her a little strong woman to start with.
Well, I can't think of a stronger woman than someone named Linda Jr. So.
I know, that's right. Put that Junior on there. Gee Louise, what's wrong with you people? It's North Carolina.
Well, locally, as far as the news goes, there's a couple of things that are going on in as far as town ordinance that I've seen coming up. The first thing is in Curry Beach, there's something that's being discussed, and I'm not sure if anyone's even aware of it. I haven't seen the news, but they're talking about ticketing folks who are parking on the lawns of the residents, and when you think about that's I don't know, it could be kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I can see where it would be a huge problem for the residents. I could only imagine.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So here where I live, and I live in Curry Beach, and I haven't had that problem. And someone I was talking to about that, like, you haven't had anyone that's parked on it? And I looked out, and the person that I was talking to actually had parked on my lawn. And I said, well, you're the first one.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir. Now I have.
And tonight, when we were down at what we're going to talk about for what we did this week, and I guess we can just go ahead and move right on into that, at the Carolina Beach Thursday night fireworks and music. There were a ton of cars that were parked on people's grass. But what did we notice that was kind of different?
There was a lot of places that there was a sidewalk between the home yard and the road. So people were parking in the grass between the sidewalk and the road, and I'm assuming that may be some sort of an easement and not necessarily in the homeowner's yard. But I'm also pretty sure that homeowner probably maintains that little bit of grass in front of their home, and it still irks them quite the same.
Oh, yeah. And we did, because we got a little bit of a late start, and Shanny May has been wanting to see fireworks for a long time, and she's like, hey, one of the events that we go to and we talk about, I want it to be the fireworks at Carolina Beach, so that's what we did tonight. So
finally got to see my fireworks. I'm excited.
And what did you think of them?
I thought they were actually pretty great. They were amazing for such a small area, and for them to do them every week. Because, you go downtown several times a year, you see the big ones down there, and yeah, of course they do them for longer and there's more, but for them to do them every week, when you sit back and look at the grand scheme of the cost and the, just the people to do it and everything on that, it really was amazing to me that they did as good a show as they did. I thought it was really great. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I missed quite a few. I had been really sick and was out of the loop there for a while, and I missed the 4th of July, and I've missed quite a few of the Thursdays that I wanted to go to, and it was definitely worth it. And I always, to me, over the water or near the water where you can see the reflection, whether it be the river or the beach, just makes it that much better. So I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was amazing. If you guys have not been, it's definitely a place to bring your family. The rides are open. There's all kinds of entertainment. The little carnival rides are great for the kids, and the bands. There was some pretty good music and lots of people dancing. The children up by the stage dancing. They're too cute, and it's great to get out and just see all the people, and you run into people in your community and just get out and enjoy the weather and love where you live. A lot of people pay lots of money to vacation where we live, and when you sit back and you think about it like that, you're like, hey, go out and enjoy it. You live here. Live that vacation.
That's exactly what I think. When I tell people that I live 4 blocks from the ocean and that it takes me 4 minutes to walk to the ocean, I want them to know that I don't take that for granted. Every day of my life while I lived here, I see the ocean. Because when I was a kid, we would take 2 vacations a year. One would be to the mountains, usually either to Tweetsboro Road or Grandfather Mountain or somewhere up at that Cherokee.
Right.
And then the other would be to the beach. And so now that I'm here, I love it, and I love spending time. Yeah, exactly. And so while we were down there today, one of the things I noticed was just like the line to Britt's Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like it can get longer and longer and longer. And so that's one of those places that I think that you got to go and see when you come here.
Absolutely. If you've never been, you have to try it at least once. I mean, they are absolutely wonderful. They're hot. They melt in your mouth. They are just worth the wait. The line is long, but it moves fast. They're very sufficient, and it is 100% worth the wait. If you have not tried it, word of mouth and hearing everybody say that, they're saying it for a reason. You need to get yourself down there and get you one.
And they're $1 a piece.
Absolutely. $12 for a dozen, and it's worth it.
And there's not a Boston cream or a chocolate glaze. It is, you get a donut.
That's right, and it is the glazed recipe from the original people from 35 years ago, something like that, and it is delicious.
Yeah, and so another thing that we saw there, we saw the band, and I love live music, and this one was playing sort of '90s music, and we did not see the dancers that I had talked about before.
Yeah, your line dancers. I didn't get to see them, so we'll have to go back again so I can see them. We missed them.
I hope that they still go. But we did see a bunch of kids there, and that was really cool.
I always enjoy that.
And speaking of live music, there's a bunch that's coming here in the area, right?
Absolutely. There are quite a few concerts coming up in the next week. It looks like, of course, tomorrow night, the Downtown Sundown concert series at Riverfront Park downtown is going to be Black Mantis as the opening act, but the headlining act is the Funky Monks, and they are a tribute to a Red Hot Chili Peppers band. The opening band starts at 6:30, headliner at 8. Of course, there's food, beer, and wine available for sale. They don't allow you to bring any outside beverages or coolers or dogs, but it is rain or shine, and it's right there at Riverfront Park. So if you like Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's the one to see tomorrow evening. Of course, they run May 25th through August 31st. So it usually ends around 10 p.m., so it still gives you time to get out and go out if you want to hit some places up downtown, or you want to go out and do some fun things with some friends. You still got that going on, you're able to do. Then it looks like next Friday night is going to be the Breakfast Club, which is an 80s tribute band, and they're always one of my favorites. Who doesn't like 80s music, right? I mean, come on. There's always some kind of something in there. And that is also the Downtown Sundown, same place. And it starts at, I want to say 6:30 for the opening band, and the headliner at 8. Let's see here. The wristband sales for that benefit Laney High School band boosters. So it is definitely a good fundraiser to hit up every Friday night if you get a chance to get out. The next Saturday, these are one of my favorites. Not this coming Saturday, but July 28th is Old Crow Medicine Show. And they are actually coming to Pier 33 down there behind PPD. That new place beside the Marina Grill at the Wilmington Port City Marina. The gates open at 7. The show is at 8. Old Crow Medicine Show actually starts at 9. It's a rain or shine event. You can get those tickets at the local website there for the Pier 33 Entertainment.
Have you ever been there?
I have not. I've been down there and walked around, but not during a concert or anything like that. So I'm not sure how crowded it gets or how they set it up for. I know they put the stage at the very end because I've seen pictures.
Yep.
But I've not been for a concert yet, so I'm not sure as far as that goes.
I went for I've been for 2 events, and I don't remember what they were. But yeah, so it's at the very end, and they have it set up really nice. But that Marina Grill, it was called something else. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember it was
the
something
Blackfin Grill, maybe
something like that.
And that place was really, really cool, but it was always slow every time I went in there.
Oh goodness, yeah.
And so you know that like when you go in there, and every time you go in there, if it's slow, that's doomed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I hope that they're doing some things to pick it up, and that they're. And there was an article, I think, in either the Star News or the Port City Daily, where they were talking about the change of owners in that place. But the food was always amazing, and it was kind of, the quirky foods. I mean, it wasn't super traditional, but it was things that you could eat off of it.
Yeah.
But which reminds me to ask you about the food trucks, because they're coming.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you can also get those tickets for that Old Crow Medicine Show at ticketfly.com. I did just see that. However, the Food Truck Rodeo, that is this Saturday, July 21st at Poplar Grove Plantation. It is from 3 to 8 p.m. It is free to get in. However, they are taking donations to help with the stable's Equine Rescue Program. That Food Truck Roundup is going to have a Folkestone string band playing on the front porch of the Manor House during it. There's going to be 30 plus arts and crafts vendors on the front lawn and the carriageway. And then there are at least 10 food trucks already confirmed, that being Oak City Fish and Chips, Poor Piggy's, Three Kings Food Truck, Tasty Tea's Snack Shack, To Go Boys, Kona Ice, Amazing Glazing Donuts, Mushbo Midst Arch Truck, Bubba and Finn's, Port City Q, Vittles, I Really Mean It, Urban Street Eats, Yamon 51, Port City Puffs and Stuff, and Roadside Wildflowers. So sounds like so far there is quite a bit, and there are many of those that I have not tried yet. So that kind of excites me to get out and see what's new. I know Poor Piggy's is the bomb because I have eaten there a lot, and they have catered quite a few events I've been to and weddings.
That's the one I have eaten.
Yeah, they're very good. The Vittles truck I've hit up, they're very good as well. And of course everybody's seen the Kona Ice, but most of those others I've not really heard of yet, so I'm kind of excited about that.
I have not seen the Kona Ice.
You've not seen the Kona Ice? That's kind of along the lines of like a snow cone type thing, and you can get your different flavors, and so it's a ice, like a like a shredded ice kind of thing. So it's really good. And they do a lot of kids things. That's why I've seen them like at church events and things like that as well. They'll do. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So there's no admission. All the vendors and again, just all those participating food trucks to check out and learn about for the area. So I'm always down for checking out new stuff and getting some food in my tummy.
Here's one
in my belly.
Here's one thing I like about food trucks is because I remember roach coaches.
Back in the day when that was, and it's come a long way.
yeah. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, the roach coach. So it was usually like a pickup truck with like the silver camper thing on the back, and then they would pull up to a job site or a mill. Like a textile mill, and they would open it up, and then you could get like crap off of the back.
That they had gone to a drive-thru and bought, and were selling you 3 times as much after it had been sitting there for 2 hours. Yeah, but you were glad to get it because you couldn't leave for lunch. So you didn't have time to leave.
Exactly, and then now, I mean, every food truck I've ever eaten has been really, really good. And I think that the owners of them do a good job of differentiating themselves off. So it's not like they're all trying to be a McDonald's or they're all trying to be a Hardee's or a Taco Bell. It's like they're all individually unique. And
a lot of them have a theme. Maybe seafood or what have you, but I mean, it's really neat to see how, like you said, how advanced they are and how good the food is.
And so ironically, the only one that I recognized out of that was Poor Piggy.
Me too, out of those, but I've seen quite a few around town. There's one, Two Bros, and it looks like a RV, and it's got a wrap on it. It's kind of a beachy wrap, like with surfboards and stuff, and they have a lot of seafood design stuff, and they have wraps, and they are really good. I've eaten at theirs at several different places, and they have really good food. But I didn't see them on the list. Now, of course, that doesn't mean they're not going to be there. They couldn't have replied after that list was released. So I think there may be more that were not on there as well.
What was the name of that place?
That one, I believe it is Two Bros.
Two Bros.
But it doesn't look like the little square food trucks. It looks like an RV, and it's got the awning they pull out, but it's got one of the wraps around it. And it looks more like a beachy type with this, like I say, with surfboards and stuff on it. But it's not hard to miss. You see it driving around town a lot. But they have seafood-based stuff, and it is really good food. I've not gotten anything bad from that one or Poor Piggy's, honestly. Either one. Everything I've tried has been great.
One of the things that I have seen was Satellite. Have you ever been to that bar?
Oh yeah, they've got the little car with the donkey, and they've got they've started their own little like Mexican restaurant or whatever they are now. It's awesome.
So they used to have a food truck that would come out there, but then now I can't remember what it's called, but they actually built it into the building. So I always think that that's really cool. But downtown there's always food trucks at places. I remember I went to Flytrap Brewery, and there was a food truck that was sitting out there, and next to that, and I thought, man, that is so neat. So right there next to the Wilson Center, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of food trucks.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. There was one other concert there at the Wilson Center that I did not mention a while ago when we were talking about music. This is for some of our old school people. Miss Gladys Knight is going to be there next Wednesday night, July 25th from 7:30 to 10:30 at the Wilson Center at the Cape Fear Community College. You can get your tickets at cfcc.edu. So that is definitely something that may be of interest to quite a few people. But July 25th at 7:30, Gladys Knight's going to be there at that Wilson Center.
That's my dad's birthday, and I love live music, and I love being able to say that I have seen a person live. So the other day I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about Clarence Carter, and I've seen him live twice.
Oh, I love him.
I used to go to the Beach Music Festival up in Stewart, Virginia, and I saw him there live twice. And so it was really cool to hear people talk about, him, and they were playing his songs on the podcast, and going on and on and on and on and on about it. So Gladys Knight, I can tell you that my favorite song that she's done is "Midnight Train to Georgia."
Absolutely, I love that one myself. I think she would be a really cool concert to go just chill out and see. It's a good Wednesday night, relax, and have you a few cocktails and dinner before, and just have you a good old time.
And so, that's what we have going on, and we're super excited that you all are listening this far into the podcast, and that you've listened to us talk about things that are important to us, things that are happening in our area, the flood, real estate, all these different things. And next week, Shannon, what do we want to talk about?
I think one of the big things that's on the plate right now, and that is probably affecting, if not you individually, somebody very close to you. There is not, I can honestly say, I don't believe one person that is not affected in some way or knows someone who is affected by the social media time that children are using these times a day. And is it being linked to the ADHD problems that we're having with them? And, I was just talking about that today as far as like the internet and all this social media is bringing that generation to what they feel like needs to be instant gratification. There is no such thing as calling and leaving a voicemail for somebody at a business and giving them time to call you back. They want it right then. They want their answers right then. They want to plug in their information. They want it to come right back and pop up on the screen. And it makes it difficult when you are very busy in an office and you're trying to help everybody and be sufficient. And so, that's something I think that would be a good big topic for next week that we might need to focus a little on there and see if anybody's got any suggestions or pointers that's worked with them or their situations. Feel free to email us at 910pod@gmail.com or go on to that Facebook page, 910pod, or to our Instagram, 910pod. We've got Twitter as well. Give us some of those comments and feedback. Let us know what excites you, what you're doing in the area this coming week or in the coming weeks that you may have questions or pointers about. We just really want to hear from everybody and be able to work you in and your questions, answer your questions, and maybe share some of your information and events.
And we definitely want to thank our sponsors, who have chimed in and helped us out. Places like Mermaid Kisses.
Absolutely. The Mermaid Kisses Photography. They do any and everything you can think of. No job too big or too small. You can give them a call at 910-231-8609 or locate them on Facebook, Mermaid Kisses Photography. You got your real estate.
You can look me up on Facebook, Frankie Secrets, or you can email me at frankie.secrets@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you about real estate, see what you have going on, and if you have any questions whatsoever, is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? I would love to hear from you. So we are very, very thankful that you all have listened this far into our podcast. We're having a good time doing it for you. We're hoping to give you some good information. We would also love to hear what you think. We would also love to hear what you're excited about. We would love to hear about your events that you are doing, and you can post that on our social media accounts. 910pod. That is it. So thank you all very much for listening. Make sure that you subscribe and you leave some reviews for us. and make sure you follow us. And we're very fortunate to have all of you there with us.
Absolutely. We appreciate 100%. And please share. Give it to your friends. Tell them about us. Definitely, like he said, feedback. We want to hear from you. Want to hear what you want to hear. Anything that you would like to hear us talk about, or maybe see us visit events and feedback on, please give us a call. Let us know. Text us. Email us. Post on that social media. However it is, send us a note on a pigeon's leg. We'll get that worked in there for you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.